I'd like to briefly introduce our panel of speakers this morning. Our topic today will be the title of one of Swamiji's books, Hope for a Better World, in which he speaks about the need for communities and, in his own words, takes on many of the big guns of Western philosophy. It's a fascinating topic, and we'll approach it from several different angles. Our first speaker will be Sri Kaarthikeyan, our chief guest for this week from India, and he will speak on what I would call a very broad topic, the future of our planet. Lots of scope there. Sri Kaarthikeyan is the former head of the CBI in India, which is the equivalent of our FBI here in the United States. He was also head of the National Human Rights Commission in India, and many other NGOs he is a part of. He is a patron of Ananda Sangha in India, and his great love and inspiration and effort in life is to bring together religious and social groups in a harmonious way to further their aims and to bring goodness and change to the planet. So it's a great blessing for us to have him here. I'd like to ask Sri Kaarthikeyan now to come, and let's us please welcome him.
I leave it here. Good morning. Namaste. I'm grateful to the Master and Swamiji for giving me this opportunity of being part of these week-long celebrations of two great events. I repeat consciously that going to be great events in human history. We are discussing about the future of the planet. Perhaps for the first time in human history, such a topic has come up. See the way we have created the mess for ourselves on the planet. In creation, everything was in perfect harmony, perfection in everything. Millions of life forms, plants, animals, creatures, sea animals, everything. There is total diversity. There has been perfect harmony and underlying unity in creation. There are countless galaxies of stars and planets traveling at mind-boggling speed in their own prescribed orbits. We don't know for how many millions of years, but they are again in perfect harmony. And human civilization has been in existence, again, for nobody knows. There have been different estimates, but can we say that millions of years? I don't think any preceding generation had to worry about what will happen to the planet. When we talk about the planet, of course, we are also concerned with ourselves and our immediate future generations. Why have we come to this degraded state of affairs? You can say that this generation is responsible for greed, selfishness, and overexploitation of natural resources. There was prescribed seasons for rainfall. For hundreds of years, our forefathers have done the cultivation depending upon the monsoon. They know when it will rain and what quantity it will come. And accordingly, they plant their agricultural operations, crops. But today, everything has gone topsy-turvy. Either there is drought, or there are floods, or excess rainfall when it should not rain. causing floods, causing destruction, because half the forest cover has been destroyed by some of our own people out of greed, out of selfishness. With the result, we don't know when it will rain, nobody can plant the crops. There is increasing population, steep increase in population. As Swamiji says, somewhere at geometric speed, our food production is increasing at arithmetic proportions. That means we may reach a stage when there will not be enough food to feed the increasing population. On the other side, yes, science and technology brought us lots of comforts and conveniences, but this industrial production has poisoned the atmosphere. More and more cars, vehicles, bigger cars. So hydrocarbon pollution, mainly responsible for the global warming. Global warming has resulted, now it's accepted, it's not longer any dispute about it, in melting of glaciers. As I told you, there's a natural rhythm by which, the seawater got evaporated, went up, and then clouds came, and there was a perfect rhythm planned by God, if you believe in God, if you don't believe in God, nature. Now, because we have disturbed the whole process, due to this global warming, glaciers are melting at a much faster speed. Even Gangotri, I'm sure many of you have gone, where the river Ganges, the life-giving rivers of India start. There the glaciers are receding very fast because melting at a faster speed. Now there will be floods for a few years, maybe after 20 or 30 or 40, 50 years. Can you imagine the river Ganga being dry? That possibility is real today. And civilization existed where there is water. And great civilizations have perished when there is no water. So this threat is there all over the planet for all of us. And the seawater level rising. When I was in Venice recently, I told the gathering, I said, every time I come to Venice, I'm always worried whether I will see Venice again when I come next time. For the third time I was there. Because the water, you can see that, the measurable increase, rise in the water level, sea level. Then someone in the audience told me, okay, yes, Venice you have to naturally get concerned. But when the sea water level is rising, it's not only going to be the islands like Venice. Take Bombay, Madras, all over, everywhere, you are not going to put a wall around cities and prevent them. So this threat has become real. That's why perhaps they have chosen the topic, future of the planet. And wars, man-made wars. Last century, we lost 100 million people in wars and conflicts. Most of them fought in the name of peace, in the defense of God, in the defense of religion. Which God, which religion wants to be protected by killing millions of others? 100 million people died in 100 years. But those wars started with sticks and stones and later on bows and arrows, after shotguns. But today, we have 30 million nuclear weapons officially admitted in the possession of nuclear power nations. We don't know how many are accessible to the terrorist groups. Then weapons of mass destruction. The nations are competing with each other, allotting scarce resources instead of improving the standard of living of the people, basic education and health of the millions around the planet. These resources are being diverted to create more and more of weapons of mass destruction, biological weapons. All this in the name of security, for protection. I don't think they have made any nation feel more secure. In fact, everybody is living in constant fear of each other. And then because of the moral degradation mainly, deadly diseases like HIV/AIDS, we have not been able to find any remedy for them, not likely also in the near future. And why this, I'm talking about nuclear weapons, it's again because of religious fundamentalism is really raising its ugly head all over. Fanaticism, that my religion is superior. Everybody should follow my path. Mine is the only way. No religion said, go and kill others. As I mentioned earlier, God loves diversity. That's why He created so many life forms. I asked this question to these people. I raised it even in Lahore in Pakistan. I said, fundamentalists are in all religions, not only a particular religion. I said, you believe, whatever you believe as God, you call Shiva in Hinduism, or Vishnu, or Holy Father, or Prophet. Our concept of God, in whichever religion we believe, is the God is all powerful. If that all powerful God wanted, there cannot be many gods, there can be only one creator ultimately, whatever we may visualize him or her to be. If that God, all powerful God wanted, He would have created everybody the same way. He would have only created churches, mosques, or temples all over the planet and made people the same way of worshipping. Because, like a good gardener, like Carrie and Nancy, for instance, they believe in diversity, variety of flowers, variety of shapes. God likes diversity. That's why He allowed all this to happen. He wants people to follow their own way and realize their own full potential, or an ordinary human being to become divine being. Who are we to say we will improve upon the creation? In the same way, every religion believes God to be all merciful. If you really believe in God who is all merciful, how can you hate somebody or kill somebody because they follow different ways of worshipping? That means these people who do these things are the most irreligious people. They don't believe in God. But unfortunately, these are very few people. In every religion, there are only few people, I want to tell you. The vast majority believe in what Master said, what Swamiji says, and all paths lead to the same goal. Paths are many, the destination is the same. But we, who belong to the silent majority, we are guilty because we know that it's wrong and we don't want to express our opinion. More than those people, fanatics, because you can say out of ignorance or selfishness, they do wrong things. The fault lies more on the vast majority who know what is right and who do not want to speak out. So unless this is the time to speak out and bring about harmony, follow the path shown by the Master and Swamiji, and bring sort of an awareness, enlightenment, a new state of consciousness in the world. That is the only way of protecting the planet as a whole. And of course, they have shown the right way of living, the right type of education. Education not for making living, it's education for life. A harmonious, peaceful life. Creating intentional communities. I asked Swamiji, he was gracious enough to invite me for dinner the day I arrived. He says, why Swamiji, why use the word intentional? Because it's not. He said these communities can survive and prosper only the like-minded people. You need not believe in everything identical because no two human beings can agree on everything. But at least the sense of direction they must believe in. Only when such people come, this experiment can work. And this has worked here. And I have no doubt, of course it takes time, all good things take time. Anything new, revolutionary, people don't want to believe in it. And they don't want to give a chance. And without studying anything, learning anything, they will condemn it. They think it's false, it's an utopian idea. But I can tell you, after my, not only meeting Swamiji and others in India, this is my second visit. I'm spending a lot of time with individual groups, families, talking to them. They must be wondering, why is this fellow asking all sorts of questions? But for my learning, I can tell you I'm convinced this will work and it is the only way of saving the planet. If you really want to save the planet, it has to start with the individual. You can't transform the whole world by making lectures and talking. You can't even transform your own families. Unless the change starts within us. Because all of our ordinary mortals, human beings, we are not perfect. Very few reach the stage of perfection, like the Master, like Swamiji. But we don't have to give it up, because as long as we are on the path, at least in the direction, as long as we are able to go into these practices and reflect, thoughts will arise. Not every thought is intended. As you are listening to me, there are hundreds of thoughts in your mind, I'm sure about it. It happens to me. Some of them we intend, some of them come on their own. But if you sit on reflecting on those thoughts, I would call it thought analysis. No need for outside force to come. Is this thought which I am having good for me? Okay, it gives me pleasure for the time being. But is it good for me in the long run? No, it's good. It looks nice for me now, but in the long run, it's not good for me. Reject it. Okay, it may be good for me now and in the long run, but is it good for me, people in the family, people in the community, for the environment? If you say, no, it's not good, then you have to reject those thoughts. It's a long practice, sustained practice. Over a period of time, you will find automatically the positive, good thoughts start arising in our mind. Everybody has gone through the process. After all, if they can do it, we can also. There's a possibility of our achieving it also. So actually, I am here to learn from you people, not to give a talk. Because you have been in the path for decades together, you have been wise enough and fortunate enough to find the right path and find an ideal master like Swamiji. And he says, the world can be saved. We can transform the world. And it has to start with each one of us. And when we find the change in us, automatically members of the family see what is wrong. This man has become good or this woman has become good. You become more peaceful, you become less aggressive, you become more selfless. Then, it influences the members of the family. And when the others in the community see this family, suddenly there's a change in the family. They find you what's happening. This is the way it can spread. It's a slow process. But after all, the damage destruction we have done to the planet over a long time, same way we can sort the process of saving the planet also. In this process, not only because there is a good way, there is no other way of saving the planet. So I would only reinforce your own faith in what you are doing to say that please continue what you are doing. It's going to work in India. I'm sure about it. When this proposal came up in Delhi, I endorsed this. That is at the intellectual level. But now, when it starts in Pune, I will endorse it by myself supporting the project in a small way, so that there is a possibility. When people see it happening, you will see it growing much faster than what has happened in the West. Thank you.